to you.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see your background, don't worry.
It's actually that, and then I'm going to send a simplified order form.
Okay.
Hey,
It's
Jim,
you.
you can put stuff, you can put files into the chat window and anybody who clicks on it will go to their computer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
do
a
that
Zoom
then.
Not on the computer.
Oh. Yeah, we'll take the, you know, technical advice. Mark.
Okay, you want me to go through this?
Sure.
Last year, we bought 8 of these things. The chapter did, and we used them for Coaches Cup, and we used them for state games. We also used them for the subgroup, whatever, the testing we got. These are, they're not the best. They're not $400 or $500. They're not special things, but they work really well. I've had no complaints on them. You can hook up four people on them at one time. It's not a problem. The real reason that I think we got to do this is outside of youth soccer, everybody's using them. If you want to do college, it's like almost mandatory now. Most colleges have them, yes, but not the lower ranking colleges. They don't have them. Most adult leagues require them now. They won't give you games without them very much. The real kicker on these things is it's like it really does improve the communication you have with your partner. It has cover your back a lot on the lead officials, which is very good. There's communication with the timekeeper and with the coaches is a lot better with these things because, you know, if you give a yellow card and you're on the opposite side of the field, then you have to stop the clock. You have to run over and tell the coach. You have to tell the timekeeper what the card was for. This eliminates all that. You just communicate that with the guy that's on that side and you get it done. So you keep the flow of the game going. You keep the coaches happy because they see they know what's going on almost instantaneously. It works for us. You can go over the calls somewhat better with your partner as to what did you see. You won't make the mistakes on some pretty bad calls if you run into that problem. The other thing is it really keeps you in the game a lot better. So, you know, outside of not talking about, you know, the last beer you had, when you're in the game with those things, you're a little more attentive to the game. You're a little more focused. It's also very good it really does. It's a good training provider, training tool for the more inexperienced officials. So I recommend it for that also. The shore chapter is already ahead of us. They purchased them last year. They don't have a requirement because the state says you don't really require them. But they supplemented everybody and basically charged them only $50. But we can't do that. They had a little extra money. They're a little bigger than us, so they're doing okay with that. But I did talk to Terry Connor, and that's what they're doing, and they're very happy with this whole thing. I have a gentleman who is willing to sell them to us for $100 a piece. What we wanted to do is everybody who wants them, will charge them one game fee or $85. And then the chapter will supplement the $15 difference. That's what I was thinking would be a fair thing to do and get everybody interested in doing it. There's all kinds of stuff. Is Charlie Ammerman on here? Hey, Charlie, if you're on, there's no adjustments for these things. They are Bluetooth, but I don't think they can adjust that. They're not the high level stuff. So I really don't have an answer outside of you can notify, you can give a shot with calling the EJEAS company and find out if they can do something that would help you. They're really cool. They're really easy to sync up. Really easy. If you have two people, you have one guy presses A, and one presses B. Let go of them. Little light on there blinks for a little bit. Guy in A presses A again. It looks for the B. It syncs it up. You're on your way. So.
Hey, Jim, I have a question. Is this, as far as your plug device, is it Bluetooth compatible or no?
It is Bluetooth.
Okay, so if I got earbuds, I can put the earbuds in and use this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think it's wireless, is it?
It is, well, it is wired. Well, it is, no.
It's not Bluetooth to the ear.
It's Bluetooth, pardon me? It's not Bluetooth to the ear, no.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
No. Michelle, I also sent something, basically, it's a little simple order form.
Yep, I did put that in the chat if anybody wants to
Okay.
take a look at that, and then I'll put
Okay.
it up here too in a sec.
That's just basically, I'm not ordering unless people commit. So if you commit, I'll order you one. If you don't commit, I'm not ordering anything. Okay, so in other words, you sign that thing and say, yep, I want one, I'll get it for you. You then send SJSOA the $85. In the meantime, I'll order them, and then we should be able to get them out to everybody by the PT, or at the latest should be the first meeting, branch or first chapter meeting. Questions? Come on, guys.
I have a question. These, do they come in in a box, or is it one kit per referee and you have to sync up with that other person's kit?
Yes. Everybody's buying one radio in each of the radio, and they all sync up. You sync up to your partner. Again, it's very simple. There's very good instructions. There's a YouTube video on how to do it. It's really easy.
Thank you.
Jim, I'm assuming we could buy more than one.
Yes, you can.
The other thing I wanted to bring up when we discussed this topic, is the USSF has prevented radios from being used by grassroots referees. Reason being is that, and I understand why, you got a lot of youth, and if the wrong communication is given, mistakes get made, and that's the reason why USSF has prevented it at grassroots level. So my suggestion is that those of our guys that are regional level or higher, or have been officially trained, although a lot of college guys know the ins and outs, is a lesson or two on how to use the radios, what communication, what should be said and what shouldn't be said.
Yeah, we could do something like that at one of the meetings. I think we could sneak something in. It won't take much time. One of the biggest things that you'll have to learn is not to use negatives on the mic. You can't use the words no foul, because if the word no doesn't come through and I say the word no foul and you hear foul inside of the box and you blow your whistle, now we're in a little bit of a troubled situation. So there definitely is a learning curve. And I'm sure you guys can imagine somebody like me who likes to talk on the field and not always say the nicest things. And I even use them, I use them for college games too. And you learn to adjust. So anybody that's skeptical, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised that after you use it for a couple games, after you get over the initial setup once or twice, because there's going to be a glitch once or twice, like any technology. The idea is you just stop using it. It's not a substitute for signals or other types of communication. It's just to enhance the communication. So you can't rely on it exclusively, nor should you, because if it does malfunction, obviously you're going to have to go right back to the way you normally referee. And for me, that's not good because I'm not a good referee. But that's just my opinion.
I have a question. Are these?
You had your one question. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Are these speakers always on, or do you have to press a button?
Oh,
They're open mic.
open mic.
Always on, it means.
Okay, thank you.
There's still a lot of it's digital technology. You blow your whistle, your partner's got to get it blown out his ear. This is all digital technology. So.
Hey, Jim, we just, if we were to order this, just email you the form and then we send you the check?
Yeah, that to South Jersey, SJSOA. Not Jim, Jim Wells. Do not write Jim Wells $85.
You can send me a check for
I'm
any
definitely
amount
writing
you'd
Jim
like,
Wells $85.
Michelle Lynn.
I'm going to recommend people email me that they want a unit. And I'm going to, and we want this order placed by June 30th. So I'll send out an email tomorrow after this meeting to let everyone know who's interested to contact me so that we can find out how many we need to order.
Jeff, are you considering like Venmo or PayPal or anything, or no?
Well, that's an interesting question. Because of tax purposes, I really don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't even mind if people bring their $85 check to the physical fitness test and get their unit there.
Yeah, I
As long
don't
as they
care.
Committed.
Yeah, my view of it is not, I don't care. I'm not ordering it unless there's an order with your name on it. When we get paid is whatever you want to pay as far as that goes, is,
Right. So I plan to send out an email tomorrow instructing people on how to order and deadline of June 30th, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
Michelle, are you going to send the information on, I know you put it on the screen and you scroll through it on exactly what we're buying?
Oh, yes. So actually, are you on your phone or a computer?
I'm on a computer and I'm looking for emails through the phone.
Okay, so I didn't send an email, but there's a chat in the chat.
Send an email.
Do you see the chat on the side? I can also send an email, but the chat on the side.
Please, say he forgot to say the word.
I'm done with this meeting.
Michelle, he
double
forgot to
click
say
it.
send an email, please.
I'll send it out through Zebra.
Thank
All right.
you.
Yep.
I'll still wait for.
What'd you say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I mean, it's like what they do on the shore chapter is
I thought she asked me.
what they do in the short chapter, basically they say it's highly recommended. And because the chapter helped pay for them and they got them when they were cheaper, most of the guys bought them. It totally makes sense. And you just go, when you go to the game, you just have it with you. And it's not even 5 minutes of syncing up. I mean, that's a problem if it takes 5 minutes to sync them up.
And they're a lot different than Ref Talk. They're less cumbersome. If
anybody want to buy any Ref Talk?
So the short chapter has this model, Jim, because there's the motorcycle version as well.
Yes.
Which I used last season.
Yeah. Who's talking?
Tom Blager.
Oh, okay. I thought that was.
Michelle, I found them on the side. So if you want to send them for the rest of the group, fine. But I got the.
Somebody also, I think it was Bob Ashworth, or somebody was asking whether or not if you have two games going side by side. That's a good question. For the most part, no, you won't, because of the distance. These things can go like, you could be in the middle of the field. If someone decides they got to go to the bathroom, it pretty much dies. And then when they come back from the bathroom, syncs right back up again.
Sometimes I can take really long.
Distance wise, it's not going to be that much of a problem.
And another thing too, Jim, is that when they're not synced, the one field is synced to each other, those referees, and the other field is synced to each other, so they're not.
Yes.
Right,
You won't be
exactly.
crossover.
Exactly. It's not, you're not paired to the other guys.
Yes.
Right, it's like somebody else that has Bluetooth on and has wireless headphones isn't necessarily gonna be, it's not gonna automatically connect to yours, whatever.
Yeah.
Another question somebody in the chat had was, how do they hold up in the rain?
Fine. They're waterproof.
Yeah.
And I've used them in all kinds of conditions. I've never had a problem.
Yeah. You don't have to have big muscles either for their little one thing that wraps around their arm. You don't even have to use that.
Hmm.
I mean,
And-
I put it
and the
in
open
my
mic-
pocket.
Yeah, the open mic seems like it would be, like, my first reaction with the open mic was like, oh shit, am I really gonna want them to hear everything I say all game long? But it's really good. And it was really, really nice having somebody else be able to kind of watch my back so I could turn and sprint. And then it was nice on super slow games, honestly, to be able to chit chat with somebody a little bit too.
You're gonna get less interference than we are right now from the Zoom call. That's for sure.
True.
This guy, Joe Hartman, he's brutal.
And listen,
Wait, I'm gonna mute everyone again, and then you can unmute yourself if you want to talk.
That was awesome.
someone had a question. I think it was about okay, someone had mentioned, I think it was Michelle, saying she was a little concerned with, not wanting people to hear everything she says into the ref talk or whatever it's called this time. One of the things for someone like me who definitely says things that don't want to be heard by other people, I just cover my mic with my hand sometimes. That seems to work.
Yep.
As long as you're not screaming into it.
And one of the problems I found before with the ref talk was that it was like, by the time it's like, how much do you get yelled at before you get your whistle up to your mouth, right? It's the same type of thing, like that time to push the button. So the benefit of this being the open mic the whole time really made it a lot more useful. Jim, you gotta unmute yourself again. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Think of the ref talks we had with the push button is like the Model T. We're past that. We're now into the Ford Mavericks. We're going to be getting more and more. I mean, basically, I see in another 5 years where you're just going to have a earpiece and it's going to be on your phone or something really stupid like that, and that's it. That's what everybody's going to have. So it's coming. So any questions? Come on, keep it up. Again, I want to do this. I think we should do this anyhow, just because it's a great learning.
I have to
learning
run.
tool.
I'll send an email tomorrow.
The
All right,
communication.
thanks, Jeff. Go ahead, Jim, sorry.
Again, I could tell you, it's really just communication with your partner. You can't beat this, and it's a very good training tool, to which we got to take advantage of that training stuff. I think I've told you all before, but we're like, if we get 20 new people in here this year, we're going to lose 9 of them in the very first year. And I think this might help keeping them.
Hey, Jim, this is Jose Caman. I got a quick question.
Sure.
Say half of the membership buys them, the other half doesn't buy them. is Barna going to team us up with those of us that are willing to buy them, or is you're taking the chance that I know I see you there, John. You're gonna get a cramp on your neck. I got you. I was just curious because you buy them and then you get if the majority of the membership doesn't buy them, I'm in for it. You know that, but I don't know how many. I mean, I'm looking at here. I don't know how many people are at the meeting, but it doesn't look like even too many people were interested enough to log in and hear you guys out. So I was just curious on how we're going to work this. We take him with us at every game, and if you have it, great. If not, we leave him in a bag.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. I mean, you're going to be a salesman for it too. Once you start using it, you're going to be the salesman. You're going to walk in. You're going to walk to these things that you're going to go up to and say you got your ref. You got your radio with you, and if they say no, you say why.
If you want to cover your butt, buy two.
You could buy two.
No
That's
worries.
what I was planning on doing.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Are they comfortable to wear?
yeah. Again, these aren't the Cadillac versions of everything. But what I've noticed is the earpiece stays in, but the phone, the microphone has a wobbling issue. I end up taping a lot, and I feel much better with that way, because then I don't even have to worry about it falling.
Yeah, because I always had problems with the thing falling out, especially on the hot days.
Yeah, a lot of people use surgical tape
Yeah.
to help keep them in. The one thing I've seen with surgical tape is facial hair is an issue.
Shave.
Can everybody hear me?
Wow.
The only person who's ever had an ear problem that I'm aware of is Larry, because Larry's got really tiny ears.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, just to go back to the ear thing, I like Larry, Lord giveth, Lord taketh away. I have small ears as well. So what I did was I had I'll have to look up the information because I don't remember exactly where I got it from. It's been years now, but I actually had an audio, I think it was I can't remember what it was. I think it was believe it or not, I think it was a small airplane company or something like that. And I bought like I can
help you. I can help you out, John.
Sorry.
They for pilots, they make molds. You can actually have a mold made for your ear.
That's what I did.
And they use that in Europe as well.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I'm telling you, it was the best. I think it might have been $70 at the time. It's probably the best $70 I ever spent on soccer equipment. I was so distracted by trying to keep the thing in. I was even a worse referee than I am with it out.
I was using the motorcycle version last year, and I found them actually pretty comfortable.
Okay.
Because it's really a foam. Those were a foam pad and a hook around your ear, so it didn't really go in your ear. It just kind of like sat.
Okay.
But surgical tape helps.
But these things actually are motorcycle communication.
I believe it's the same thing, just packaged differently.
Yeah. There's actually, they have Bluetooth. The same maker has these things that are kind of weird shape, but they're actually a little bit smaller than that for motorcyclists. The problem with those are the buttons kind of stick out.
Yes.
And if you hit it wrong accidentally or anything like that, you can lose communication. Whereas this model right here is designed for officials.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hang out. And
those motorcycle ones, it's real easy to lose pairing by hitting buttons. Yeah. I've had that happen.
So I have a question. If anybody's looked over this information enough to tell me, kit comes with the charging cable, the USB cable, right? Comes with presumably the earpiece and microphone. Not a wall charger, I presume. Does anybody know for sure, Jim?
Yeah, it was like a micro USB charger or mini USB or something, one of those. It was like a regular.
So the ones I had, which it's the same manufacturer, they charge from a USB. So you can like plug them into your computer.
Like I even did some like charge some in my car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
Oh, yes, Jeff Simonetti, they can be charged in the car. Just ask me.
This is. We're getting a single one, right? Not a set. I'm looking at Amazon and they sell it, they sell a set and they sell it like a single one for almost half the price. I don't know if it's the same exact one or not. I just brought up the EJEAS, but I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah,
the
it's a
exact
single
model or not.
one and there are different models.
A lot of what you'll see on Amazon is the motorcycle version, where you'll see the sets, and they'll show them as like in sets of 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, it's got like football referee. it's got
Yeah,
soccer,
yeah,
it's got all kinds of.
Those are
Um,
it's the same manufacturer, but those are the motorcycle ones, that they're a little bit smaller. They're packaged differently than what Jim is
Hey,
talking about.
sorry to cut you guys off real quick. The meeting's gonna time out in just a minute. And everybody wants to go anyway, I'm sure. Jeff is gonna send out an email